Hello and welcome. I'm Adri Gregan. I'm back for Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. Finally. It was a bit of a hiatus between this and the last episode due to a few mix-ups and some unforeseen circumstances, but I'm back and the schedule should be back to normal from here on out. So we're here with episode 12, and last time with episode 11, we had a bit of rising action, kind of introducing our heroes to some larger threats, some actual competent curse users, some rather skilled curse users, even with one particularly an inverse guy and old Ogami, who uses a seance ability, which appears to be a subsection of or rather, a subsection of Jutsu techniques that the old lady and Ino both seem to have. Obviously, they're different techniques, but they both seem to be seance quirks techniques. Correct me if I'm wrong about that. But the old lady used her seance technique to summon uh, the spirit of Toji. Apparently, her, let's just say, acquired grandson swallowed one of Toji's fingertips, and that allowed him to effectively take the spirit of Toji into him. And now Ino he's certainly got his work cut out for him if the first core of the season was any indication. Obviously, Toji being the mage killer and being a mage, I'm concerned, but I believe in our senpai. I believe he can pull through. On the other hand, we have Fushiguro and Yuji facing off against Mr. Inverse, who inverts strong and weak attacks, as long as the weak attacks are above a certain threshold. I really enjoyed that fight. It was really fun seeing the pieces kind of come together, and also seeing Akutami expand upon Jujutsu techniques and see just what the different bounds are with these powers, and also to see more of the curse user world. It also offers us a great kind of ramping up of scaling as we slowly anticipate whenever the first battle against one of our special grade curses, one of the disaster curses, will start. I don't know if it'll be this episode or next. I get a feeling it might be teased this episode, or we might just get into it, or it might just be next episode entirely. But it's certainly on the horizon. We know the race for Yuji has already begun, unbeknownst to him. So we'll see how that goes, and I'm really excited to see how that develops from here. If you're excited as well, please do remember to subscribe. It lets you get notified whenever new videos come out, and it lets me get notified that you want to be notified. Hitting the like button shows me you enjoyed it, and it also shows the algorithm to show it more people. And also comments do the same thing. So if any of that interests you, please do. But other than that, I'm not going to waste any more of your or my time, and we're just going to hop into the episode. Oh, right. One last thing before I begin. One other thing that was clarified was my misconception about what the Mr. Inverse was talking about with Gojo leading to an increase in strength pretty much around the world. I assumed it was kind of like raising the power ceiling and everyone else kind of scrambled to keep up. That's why because he mentioned the different athletes. But it was clarified to me that this was just another way of showing how Jujutsu and like the Jujutsu world kind of naturally balances itself out effectively. Whenever something like Gojo comes out, which just incredibly shifts the balance in one direction, then the give and take, you could say, essence of the world just kind of pulls it back, and cursed spirits become a lot stronger to match that. And then the tips just keep tipping back and forth, and they both just gain stronger. So power creep if you've played a mobile game. And that's pretty much how that played out. So I really love how it's been so thorough to see this give and take, this sense of like balance, this yin yang, if you would, in the Jujutsu world. And Gojo is just another example of that. Anyways, I just wanted to bring that up before you hop in, and let's get into the episode.
己の不甲斐なさに腹が立つなどという
Ooh,
こと
we're getting a little bit more Nanami.
今までもそしてこれからも
He's got such an
私の
iconic
人生
voice.
ではありえない
Oh no, is that Mr.
た
Ichiji?
だひたすらにこ
Oh,
の現実を突きつけてくる
too
掌握
soon.
ただひたすらに
Oh. Avenge the fallen.
めやがって。
Ugh. Dull knife. Okay. Oh. God, I'm still not over that. I can't believe they did Ichichi so dirty like that. He's such a real one. I do wonder when the Kyoto students are going to become involved in this, because obviously they will be. It's just a matter of time. I assume they're already aware of it. News does seem to travel fast in this world. So I'm sure they'll be coming in pretty soon. Probably clutch when we're at the darkest hour, if you would, but it's going to make things really interesting. And I do wonder if the enemy side has already considered that. Because Brain, as I call him, or Fate Ghetto, seems rather confident that now that they've sealed away Gojo, they've pretty much already won. I've got a feeling he's underestimating our side, but I have to assume with how much he's been planning, he's anticipated people like the Kyoto people coming in. Oh, they are just, yeah. You guys were not prepared to deal with someone like her. Just trying to crawl away. Yeah. Think it's a bit late for that, buddy. Ooh, don't interrupt her. Oh my god, what a song. With the lighting flashing. She's just talking about her life. Wow. There he goes. Full bloom. Beautiful. Excellent. Excellent, Nei-sama. Excellent. Bravo. Bravo. I mean, what else are you gonna do in this situation? Yeah, pretty. I don't know what else you were expecting. Oui, oui. Ooh. Inochi no kachi. Value of subjective. That's a awfully intense question to drop on somebody all of a sudden. Ooh. Interesting. Monetary value. Yep, and there's that one. Ooh, and there's the veil.
What? 今上がったのって術師を入れない帳だけだよな。伊野さんのと合わせて3つ壊したはずなのに。
3つで1枚の帳を下ろしてたか。2つはダミーだったんだろう。だがこれで術師は渋谷を自由に動ける。
Well, having more of them to hold up the veil probably just makes it stronger, so it makes sense. Alternatively, if they need to break all three, it makes it harder to do so, so it makes sense. Speaking of, I really hope he's doing over. Oh no. Fushiguro, you better save my boy here. We already lost Ichiji, and we're not losing Ino too. Oh, he is in free fall. Good catch. Oh, yeah, he's... This is not gonna be good. There better be like a time limit or something on on Toji because we do not need to face off against Fushidio right now. Oh, it's shaking. Was I right? Mango? Yeah, something odd is happening. No. Did Fushidio... Did he take control? Is that a thing that can happen? No. Soul's information. So she limits how much she channels. What? He wasn't strong enough. It's Fushidio. I don't know what you're expecting. The silence. That was haunting. Oh. Whoa. This is so bad. Okay, Ichiji is one thing. I swear to God, you all better protect Nitta with your lives. I am not having her die in the show. I am leaving right now if something happens to Nitta. Stupid Zane just taking a nap. I assume that's the Zane. That's the Zane. He's waiting for a real opponent. He's saving his strength. Totally. Definitely not just lazy. As long as he's alive. I'm gonna punch him real quick. Yeah, you're gonna... This is not an opponent you can just punch. Get him some help, yeah. 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 Yuji, they don't know this, but Yuji being alone is not a good idea. I hope he's still lingering around. It's pretty useful. Okay.
帳が上がったようだね。五条悟に菓子を作るなんて一体いくらになるのやら。胸が躍るね。
Don't count your eggs.
Nitta-chan, stop.
Oh, jeez. I had a feeling. He is going after people in suits, so... Oh, jeez. Oh, God, their reunion, too. He's gonna be like, hey, I remember you. It's my fan club. Oh, jeez. How many of them did he get? Yeah. Just know it, we're just flinging it. The amount of strength you need to do something like that. All the way across the street, too. Okay, come on, Nobata, let's see what you got. I had a feeling you'd remember. What's his popular phase? Running along. Oh my god, it's just hobbling after her. Ah. I don't like the way he moves. Oh! Not the ankles. Oh, jeez. Oh, come on, really? Oh, I don't like that look. Yeah, he's surprisingly skilled. So does it have a curse spear like in it, or is it part of his technique? I mean, it's got that hand, so I assume it's kind of moving of its own will. Almost like a Shikigami. Jesus Christ. He's so unsettling. Just as the rocks are like falling on you. Who does that? Oh. Ugh. Oh. Skull. Ooh. Did that take her out? No way. Yeah, it's a pretty bad spot for humans to be hit. I don't think she's down for the count, though. Oh yeah, she is out of it. Come on, you gotta pull yourself together. Being strong isn't enough. It's like a poltergeist power or something, I assume. Do I get to have a vote in this? There we go. Come on, Nobara. Come on. Yeah, no, you, not you guys. But I think he just wants to kill people. What? Similar to Mahito. Oh! Come on. Some backup, please. Oh, jeez. He just wants to commit crimes. Oh, she's up. But you can tell she's still out of it. Oh. Yeah, I wonder why. Come on, Nobara. Come on. Tell me that's not Amin. Tell me we've got Nanamin in the house. Let's go! It's about freaking time. Come on, Nanamin. Just kick her away. The disrespect. Come on, Nanamin. You've got to return the favor fivefold. Come on, man. Okay, good. We're staying here. If they were about to cut away, I was about to be pissed. Yeah, I've got to see this. You can see it in his eyes. Come on. Let's see that overtime work.
何勝手に動いてんの？女の子が人質になってるでしょ。あ、逃げちゃった。
Wait, wow, nitta, not.
仲間の数と配置。
Oh, what an expression.
知らない。
It's just like with Gojo and Bushido. You can immediately tell the balance of power is shifted. One side is perfectly composed, and the side that was previously leading is now panicking. You can tell it's different. He doesn't stand a chance. Ooh, the critical hit. Let's go, Nanamin. Oh, the veins in his arm. Now it's your turn to forget how to walk. Yeah, now it's your turn to lock in, buddy. And of course, he just wants to run. Because he's a coward at the end of the day, right? Because he likes to prey on the weak. Ooh. Ooh. You know what? I am glad you don't know. That'll make this last a lot longer. I've never been one for Schadenfreude, but this does put a smile on my face. With the flickering lighting. Yeah. Whoa! Nice job, Nobara. It's a good strategy, though. Oh. Yeah, you've got a lot to atone for, buddy. It's all fun and games till you're the weak one being preyed on. So, not gonna cut it. Yeah, that felt pretty good. Something tells me this show is gonna be my... That's one way to put it. Yep, just like Mei. Something tells me this show's gonna be like my welcome drug into Schadenfreude. There's gonna be so much suffering. I think I may finally learn to appreciate the feeling of eye for an eye. Not that this... Yeah, she's got to figure this out now. Ooh. Nice little distortion.
五条君は一人でこの国の人間を全員殺せる。誰かと組む意味も小細工を浪する必要もない。
You better be careful,
私は
Mei.
五条君より君を買っていたんだよ。ニヒルな笑顔もチャーミングだった。そんな君を殺さなければいけないなんて残念至極だ。本当に残念だよ。おそらくこのゲトウ君は偽物だ。
Quick deduction.
私も残念です。かつての先輩を手にかけるのは
Still playing the role. Smallpox deity, special grade disease curse. Smallpox curse? You're kidding me. Oh, smallpox is no joke.
念のため地下5階の人間は残しておきたいんです。線路で待ってますね。そいつを払えたら私が。
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's no way he's just gonna leave Gojo there. Untended to.
領域展開。
Ooh.
これは少々厄介。
I love her composure.
閉じ込められた。棺桶ってとこかな。姉様。
Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna take more than that.
私の命に指がかかるのは
Ooh. And she's got her temp squad there.
人が全然いねえ。駅の
Her
中に
one man
大勢閉じ込め
cheering
られてたんじゃなか
cheerleader.
ったのか。
じゃあ伊地知さんは無事なんすね。
Yeah, but how are you doing
彼の
though?
ことはしましたし、彼ももともとは術師を志していましたから。でもやはり五条さんのことはそちらに伝わっていなかったのですね。
私たちはすぐに室内に入ったので、そのせいっすね。封印されても粘るあたり、本当っぽいわね。
二人はここで救護を待ってください。私は全員さんたちと地下5階に向かいます。
私も。
ダメです。ここ
Not quite at that level yet.
私で最低レベルです。
Yeah.
足でまとい、邪魔です。
There are plenty of other things you can do. Like protect Nitta for the love of everything, please. Better yet, get her out of here. Oh. So he's first up. Now, will it be those two fighting each other, or will this become like a 1v1v1v1? That would be really fun. I've got a feeling something like that's gonna happen, but that's gonna be next episode, right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what a full episode. My goodness. Oh. Jeez, don't scare me like that. Freaking stabbing Nita like 4 times. At least she looks like she's doing all right. Okay, let's see. Oh, come on, really? At least they waited until he got his scale. Well, at the very least, I appreciate them waiting until until Ichiji got his just desserts for him to appear in this post-credit scene. But oh, what an episode! What a perfectly framed. Starting with Nanami, ending with Nanami. It was really just a Nanami episode. And then, of course, the teaser for what's going to happen next time. But we've obviously, I mean, more than the Nanami episode, I suppose, the best thing to say for this episode is that this is really the first grade sorcerer episode, just really showing the strength of the first grade and showing just how powerful they are and how on another level they are. And at the same time, I really like how we started this season, or I suppose this core, and ended last season with the recommendation that several of our, especially our main characters, are being recommended for first grade, because this arc is a great way to show us just what that means, just what it means to be first grade, and just how, well, why the Principal Gakuanji was so shocked that these students are being recommended to this level. Obviously, they'll have to go to semi-first first, but it's just her sauntering over. What a great scene this was. It's so Mei. In case you felt like you didn't have a grasp on who Mei was, you do now. She's as Mei gets. And she asks Uyui, her dear little brother, how you'd measure the weight of a life. Uyui says it's how valuable they are to you. I think in general, he means how valuable they are to each person, because it's Uyui talking. I fully believe that he means you, as in how much they're valuable to Neisama specifically. But I'm going to interpret this as it's how valuable they are to you as a person. Because to every person, in this worldview, to every person, everything has a different value, right? And not even this worldview, I'll just say it in general. The value is something attributed by each person separately. We often don't think of it that way because we, in our modern society, we see value in a monetary sense with currency. And since we've long since moved past bartering, we have direct conversions, or we have direct representations of how valuable an item is by their currency. The currency is how we as a society deem how valuable we as a society deem something is. And yet at the same time, it's far from objective, right? Not only does one person have to initially set that price, but the reason why you can buy a gallon of milk for any as low as $1 to as high as $10, if not more, is because different people attribute different things to attribute different values to what is essentially the same thing. Now, whether that thing is actual goods, whether it's services, whether it's convenience, which is why obviously like takeout food and like restaurant is so much more expensive than the actual materials put into it, because there's the convenience fee that's usually not literally stated, but everything has value: time, energy, convenience, effort. Everything has value that you can attribute to it, but nothing has an agreed upon value. Everything we barter in a sense as a society and agree on general values for things. We generally agree that a car's value, at least in today's world, is worth more than a few $100s. And we also agree that most cars' values are less than $1 million. There are obviously notable exceptions, but that's the general agreed value of a car. Mileage may, no pun intended, mileage may vary. If you were to go, like I said, with a milk, we generally agree that $20 is overvalued for milk. Those are generally agreed values. But really, it comes down to the person. That's why when you buy things on the second market, whether you're buying them vintage or whether you're just buying them like on a garage sale or on eBay, you'll see so much of a larger variation of price of things. And why older things are considered more valuable, because we attribute more value to them because they are not as common, right? And that's an overgeneralization, but I like this answer. Value is not objective. There's no such thing as objective value. There cannot be objective value. Even if we agree on how valuable something is, that's just our collective subjective opinion. And the reason she asked this, though, is specifically about the value of a life. I've been talking about the value of goods and services, but the value of a life is where things get a lot murkier. If you're particularly religious or spiritual, then you probably have a more firm definition of the value of a life. A lot of religions pretty much tell you what the value of a life is. Some do it more literally than others, but if you don't have something like that, then it's a much more difficult question to answer. I've mentioned in the episode an eye for an eye. So is one life equal value to another? Well, what if one life is the life of a newborn equal to the life of Winston Churchill, let's say, who lived for decades and decades, nearly a century, and did so much more in his life? Are they equal value? Some would say yes, a life is a life. Others would say no, Sir Winston Churchill accomplished a lot more, so he's more valuable. Or you could flip it on its head and say, no, the life of the infant, the newborn, is more valuable because of the potential, what it can do. Sir Winston Churchill has a lot less potential when he's like 80. It's really up to how you see it. But coming back to the episode, the reason why she brings this up is she asks him, her prey, this murderer what he thinks the value of a life is. And he's not able to immediately answer, understandably. Most people can't pull that answer out of their hat. But the problem about that is that he is a person who takes lives. He is a person who ends lives, who cuts them short. He effectively limits the value of lives. He either cuts them short or he ignores how valuable they may or may not be, because if he kills them, he kills them. If they're a target, they're a target. I don't know exactly if I don't know exactly what he is, if he's just like a mass murderer, or if he's a hired gun or whatever. It doesn't matter. If he's a person who kills other people, to a degree, you need to have an idea of how valuable a life is, because you are effectively destroying that value, right? It'd be like throwing a diamond ring into a volcano. You are destroying that value, so you'd better at the very least appreciate how much value you just eliminated, you just removed from the world. Now, I'm not entirely certain how she connects that to the reason why he lost. Whether it's he's not able to clearly describe value, so he can't see value when he sees it, so he couldn't see how overvalued she is and lost to her, or if it's simply his lack of conviction, if you would. I think it's something more along those lines. If you don't properly appreciate and understand the value of the things that you are dealing in, then that shows a lack of conviction in your life in general, in your trade. So since she is more appreciative of the value and she's more aware of these things, then she can act decisively. If perhaps you have like the Spider-Man, I forget what it's called, but the Spider-Man conundrum, right? If you either save one person or like save a school bus of children, it's like saving a school bus of children or like saving your girlfriend. If you don't have a clear definition of what your values are, then you will be paralyzed. But if you can decide how much value each side is and you can act on it, then that's less of an issue for you, right? So, I mean, it brings us back to conviction, which was one of the initial and core themes of this show. And I suppose understanding the value of things is a part of that. And I'm curious if that conversation will wrap back around once we delve further into Yuji's journey in this arc. If he will, since before when Gojo was sealed, or when Gojo was, right before Gojo was sealed, we made a comparison between him and Yuji, how Gojo is able to act despite being overwhelmed, whereas Yuji would more easily be overwhelmed. And yet they used Gojo's clear-headedness and his ability to do what he has to do against him to overwhelm him regardless. So I'm curious if that value of a life conversation will come back as Yuji develops his conviction even further, because it is something that needs to be developed further. And we've slowly been doing it in the show, but now that he's up against some serious opponents and he's going to have some flashbacks, some flashes to the past with this death painting, and then obviously with Mahito. I feel like this is going to be the next major step in his journey, and I'm excited to see where that goes. Speaking of being excited to see where things go, sure enough, Fushidio is nobody's slave. He works for people, but he works on his own time. He is a Jujutsu Goroshi. He is a sorcerer killer. So he kills sorcerers. You are a sorcerer. Goodbye. That's going to be a serious problem moving forward. No question about that. And then Brain decides to go and face off against Mei Mei because she's clearing her obstacles a little too quickly, so he decides to put a bigger one on her, but more on that later. Now we get to the part I both love and despise, exactly as it should be. These guys get to meet her. These guys have their their reunion, and Nitta gets chased around by a pan sword thing, and it seems to be some sort of like poltergeist or some sort of not mannequin, but controlling it basically from a distance. And the way that this guy moves is just so unsettling. Like, he's clearly really skilled, but he's just as clearly not a professional. He's skilled in the way that somebody who he's skilled in the way that somebody who was not professionally trained can only be. In a way that you can tell he raised himself, he trained himself, he developed these techniques, jujutsu and just physical techniques himself. It's very fluid, very unnatural, very abnormal, very unique. I don't like praising him, but I've got to give him credit where credit's due. He's got a very unusual fighting style that's difficult to deal with because of how unusual it is. And his entire demeanor fits that so well. And when they ask him why he is doing what he's doing, he rattles off this really strange answer of what does a soccer player do in a world without soccer? And he mentioned something later about just doing crime, about committing crimes, which seems to be just what he enjoys. We know he likes preying on the weak, so he's probably just committing crimes to have fun because he can. Literally just because he can. And at this point, though, after Nobara does honestly a commendable stand, despite her practically breaking her neck, nearly breaking her neck from that freaking impact. I'm frankly surprised she's up as quickly as she is, but she obviously doesn't stand a chance, but she doesn't need to because Nanamin is here. And you can already tell things are different. Just like when Fushidio faced off against Gojo, who just awakened, immediately you can tell things are different. The way Nanami is walking, the way he is completely silent while this guy, I do not remember, nor would I care to in the future remember his name, but this guy is like just trying to talk and trying to egg him on, and you can tell his entire posture, everything is different. And I mean, it's obvious, right? Immediately, just the power balance is shifted. He has lost all control, just like with Fushidio against Gojo. Just seconds ago, it was completely different, but now he's already lost. He's completely outgunned here. And yeah. I'll say it as many times as I need to. I'm not a Schadenfreude guy. I'm not the kind of person who gets pleasure from the pain of others, even if they're miserable whelps and horrible people. I didn't feel very much pleasure when Fushidio got annihilated. But this does make me smile a little bit. This guy is truly miserable, truly irredeemable. And after spending the start of this episode and the midpoint of just him just walking past all the suits that this guy killed, especially Ichiji, and stabbing Nitta up a bunch, yeah, I'm not going to feel bad about feeling good watching him get pummeled. Then this. As a historian, I was not ready for him to pull out the smallpox. This is really bad. I want to believe in my girl Mei. I'm going to choose to believe in her. But on the topic of people having their work cut out for them, no wonder this thing is a special grade. Smallpox is, I mean, I don't need to tell you this, I'm sure, but smallpox is historically one of the most, at the very least, most feared, I guess, diseases in the world. It's just a number of outbreaks throughout history that have just been absolutely devastating. So yeah, no wonder it's a special grade. And Nitta is surprisingly put together. Props for her for holding it together after that. And then we get the teaser for the next episode. Choso versus Yuji. Now, I am almost certain that this will not be a 1v1. I can all but guarantee you that at the very least, Mahito, if not Mahito and Volcano Head, are going to show up maybe midway through this fight, maybe halfway through the next episode or something like that, or even like a quarter of the way through, and it's just going to become an all-out brawl as Mahito and Choso are trying to kill Yuji, Volcano Head's trying to keep him alive and awaken Sukuna, and it's just going to be this absolute chaotic brawl between all of them, and I really hope it turns out that way. I think that would make things so interesting. But I do think we need at least a little bit of time for Yuji to interact with Choso and maybe to reflect back on the climax of season 1 where he killed the 2 death paintings, this guy's brothers. His brothers. Obviously, that was a pivotal moment in Yuji's journey, just like the whole Junpei arc was. So I feel like this will be a great another benchmark for how he's grown and where he's going to grow moving forward. And yeah, I'm really excited to see where it goes. If you are excited too, again, please do subscribe, hit the like. I would really appreciate it. The algorithm appreciates it too. If there's something in the episode that I missed or that I didn't really talk about much that you want me to talk about more or that you want to bring to my attention, please do leave it in the comments. Same thing for something I said. If there's something I said you disagree or agree with, or just something you want to build off on, or just context around the episode, please do leave it there. I'd love to engage in discourse with you. It's one of my favorite parts about this job, without question. But regardless of whatever you choose to do, until the next one, have a lovely rest of your day.